The First Messenian War was a conflict that took place in ancient Greece between the Peloponnesian state of Messenia and the neighboring state of Sparta. The war lasted for nearly 20 years and had a significant impact on the political and social landscape of ancient Greece. The war began in the early 8th century BCE, when the growing population of Messenia began to put pressure on the resources of the region. The Messenians, who were primarily farmers and herders, sought to expand their territory in order to support the growing population. The neighboring state of Sparta, which was dominated by a powerful warrior class, saw the expansion of Messenia as a threat to their own power and resources. In order to stop the expansion of Messenia, the Spartans launched a series of military campaigns against the Messenians. The war was initially fought on a small scale, with both sides engaging in raids and skirmishes. However, as the war progressed, it began to take on a more organized and larger scale. The Messenians, who were not as well trained or equipped as the Spartans, struggled to match the military might of their opponents. Despite this, they were able to put up a strong resistance and even managed to inflict some significant defeats on the Spartans. One of the most famous battles of the war was the Battle of the Thousand Caves. This battle took place in a network of caves and tunnels that the Messenians had used to evade the Spartans. The Messenians were able to use the caves to their advantage and inflicted heavy losses on the Spartans. Despite their initial success, the Messenians were ultimately unable to defeat the Spartans. The war dragged on for nearly 20 years, with both sides suffering heavy losses. Eventually, the Messenians were forced to accept terms of surrender imposed by the Spartans. The terms of the surrender were harsh, and the Messenians were forced to become a subject people of Sparta. They were stripped of their land and property, and their men were forced into a form of serfdom known as helotry. The Messenians were also forced to pay tribute to Sparta and were not allowed to bear arms. The First Messenian War had a significant impact on the political and social landscape of ancient Greece. The defeat of Messenia solidified the power of Sparta and established it as one of the dominant states in ancient Greece. The helot system created by the Spartans also had a profound impact on the social and economic structure of ancient Greece, and it will continue to be a source of tension and conflict for centuries to come. The war also had a significant impact on the Messenians themselves. The defeat and subsequent subjugation of their people had a deep psychological impact and led to a sense of resentment and bitterness towards the Spartans. This would eventually lead to a series of revolts by the Messenians against their Spartan overlords. In conclusion, the First Messenian War was a significant conflict in ancient Greece that had a lasting impact on the political and social landscape of the region. The war established Sparta as a dominant state and solidified its power, but it also led to the subjugation of the Messenians and the creation of the helot system, which would continue to be a source of tension and conflict for centuries to come.